YouTube, what if I told you one of the oldest explanations in human history has been replaced, not by another belief, but by evidence? Did God curse women with painful childbirth? Or did evolution create a biological trade-off that science eventually learned to overcome? Today, let's find out. Let's talk about it. I'm CJ Everson, and welcome to the Jewish Skeptic. Today, I want to talk about something almost no one questions. Childbirth. Every single person watching this video exists because a woman or a woman went through it. Yeah, it's painful. It's dangerous. Sometimes it can be deadly. And for most of human history, it was one of the biggest risks a human being could actually face. My question is, why though? And I'm asking y'all that too. Why? Now, if you're religious on the other side of this camera, you probably already know the answer. You know, Genesis says, after Eve ate the quince from the tree of knowledge, God declared, I will greatly multiply your pain in childbirth. You know, for billions of people, that's actually the explanation. But I've been thinking about this. Pain isn't biology, and pain is punishment. Now, before anyone accuses me of attacking your little bit of religion, I want to ask something more simpler. How do we know that's true? How do we know it's true, people? Today, we actually understand childbirth better than the people who wrote Genesis ever would. Now think about this. For almost 200,000 years, humans lived without hospitals, without antibiotics, and without anesthesia. Women gave birth in homes, in caves, in huts, sometimes completely alone. Many never survived. Many babies didn't either, though, you know. And for most of human history, losing a child wasn't unusual. It was actually expected. Imagine living in a world where having 5 children didn't mean raising 5 adults. It meant hoping maybe 2 or 3 of them survive. That's the reality of our ancestors. That's the reality they lived through. Now, here's where things can get a little interesting, especially when I talk about this. Modern biology doesn't explain childbirth as a curse. It explains it with anatomy. Humans walk upright. That's one of the defining traits of our species. Walking upright changed the shape of our pelvis. At the same time, our brains kept getting bigger. And bigger brains meant larger skulls. Now think about that. Think about what those two things actually mean together. A more narrow birth canal and a larger baby. Those two evolutionary changes created one of the most difficult births in the animal kingdom. Bruh, it's not because someone cursed women or some God cursed a woman. It's because evolution is full of trade-offs. You don't get one advantage without giving up something, you know, with evolution. Our intelligence came with a cost. And here's something I don't think people appreciate enough. Evolution ain't trying to, it's not trying to make your life comfortable. It ain't trying to make life fair. It ain't trying to eliminate suffering. Evolution only cares about one thing. Can enough individuals survive long enough to reproduce? That's it. Nature doesn't optimize for happiness. It optimizes for survival. That's two different goals, folks. Two different goals. And here's another question. If childbirth pain is literally a supernatural curse, why does medicine reduce it? Think about it. If God intentionally cursed women, then why do epidurals work? Why do C-sections work? Why do neonatal intensive care units save premature babies? Did doctors remove God's punishment? Or did they solve biological problems? Every advance in medicine points toward understanding nature, not lifting a curse. Now, somebody watching might say, God simply works through medicine. Fair enough. Nice theological interpretation, though. But I noticed something here. The medicine still works because biology behaves consistently. Doctors don't pray a pelvis wider. They understand anatomy. Surgeons don't remove infections by quoting scripture. They remove bacteria. Vaccines don't cancel curses. They train the immune system. Whether you're religious or not on the other side of this camera, the explanation that consistently predicts what happens is the biological one. This is why, this is one reason I value evidence so much and why I ask the questions like I do. Evidence doesn't ask what you hope is true. Evidence asks what actually explains reality. It's a large difference. Big difference. Big difference. People often think skepticism means rejecting everything, but it don't. That ain't what it means. Skepticism means being willing to, let me get this right. Skepticism is being willing to replace an old explanation when a better one comes along. That's a good way for me to put it. That's exactly what science has done with childbirth. It didn't erase the suffering, it explained it. And once we understood it, we started reducing it. Gotta give us credit. There's another part of this story that deserves attention, though. And I can't miss this. For thousands of years, women carried a enormous burden. Not only did they endure the pain, but many were told that it was their fault. It was their fault. Or at least humanity's fault through Eve. Whether someone interprets Genesis literally or symbolically, the story shaped cultures for centuries. Meanwhile, biology tells a very different story. Women aren't suffering because of one woman's mistake. They're experiencing the consequences of an evolutionary history shared by every human being on Earth. That is a complete different explanation. And it is one we can actually test. Here's what fascinates me the most. The people who wrote Genesis had no knowledge of genetics, no understanding of evolution, no microscopes, no germ theory, no anatomy textbooks. They explained the world with the information they had, y'all. And today, in 2026, we have more information. The question is, should our explanations change when our knowledge change? I think they should. This is not really, this ain't an attack on Christianity. It's about something bigger. How should we explain reality? Do we stop at ancient stories, or do we continue following the evidence where it leads? Every hospital, every maternity ward, every successful C-section, every woman whose life was saved by modern medicine, it tells the same story. Knowledge reduces suffering. Ignorance don't. So why was childbirth caused by God's curse? Or by millions of years of evolution shaping bodies through natural selection? I'll leave that decision to you. But if your explanation doesn't compete with anatomy, medicine, with biology, then maybe it's time to ask whether you're defending tradition or are you really following the evidence. The goal shouldn't be to protect ancient ideas. The goal should be to understand reality as honestly as we can. And if evidence leads us somewhere uncomfortable, we should have the courage to follow it anyway. I'm CJ Everson, the Jewish skeptic. No fear, no dogma, just clarity. See y'all next time.
Do you know what I found? The more you know, the less you know.